Are you thinking of buying a Cricut Maker 3 and you're not sure if it's the right machine for you? Or are you just thinking about which Cricut machine might be the best option for you? Well, you're in the right place because today I have a Cricut Maker 3 here with me. It is brand new. I have not used it yet. And as someone who is a bit of a Cricut beginner still myself, I'm going to go through and give you my complete review and first experience using Cricut Maker 3. Hi everyone, it's Holly here. So as I said, today I have the Cricut Maker 3 here with me and I am going to show you how to get it set up, take you through the essentials, what it includes, what you still need, and do my very first Cricut Maker 3 project with you. So I have a Cricut Joy. I have had the Cricut Joy for 18 months and I have used that for so many different projects over the last year and a half. And it is a fantastic little machine, but the catch is that it is very small, and that means that it can only create very limited size projects and only certain materials. So while it is fantastic for beginners and it can do a lot, there are still a lot of things that it is lacking if you are looking to move to that next level. And that is where the Cricut Maker 3 is an amazing option. And yes, it is a bit of a jump up from the capabilities of the Joy to the 300 plus materials that you can cut with the Cricut Maker 3. But that is exciting because just think of all the possibilities. So I'm excited to get started with this machine and see what it can do. You might have already seen I have a video that I shared just recently about unboxing the Cricut Maker 3, and inside the box you get obviously a machine. You get your quick start guide, which has your warranty information and where to go to get set up. It comes with a basic materials pack. So you've got a sheet of smart iron-on, smart adhesive cardstock, and smart permanent vinyl, I believe, and your power adapters. So it comes with the adapter that connects the power to the wall, of course, and also with the USB cable, which will connect your Cricut Maker 3 to your computer. So one of the great things about the Cricut machines is that you don't have to use them with a computer. You can use them with your mobile devices. So your iPad or your mobile phone, which is something that I do sometimes do with the Joy when I'm in a bit of a rush. I just need a quick project, and it's so amazing that you don't have to set up the computer, have everything there to go. But sometimes you like to have the bigger screen and have the design software up on that larger format, and that is where a computer is definitely a great way to go as well. So it is fantastic that you do have the options, and it's something that I do love about all the Cricut machines. For full transparency, Cricut were generous enough to send me this Cricut Maker 3 machine to do a review on. But please know that all opinions in this review are my own, and you're going to see me as somebody who is learning as they go, and any mistakes I make along the way. So that's all part of the fun journey. So one of the things that you might notice is seeing what you get with the machine is that it doesn't come with any cutting mats. Now that's a bit of a surprise. It was a surprise to me, but in saying that, if you are using Cricut Smart materials, you don't need to use a cutting mat, and the Smart materials are amazing, and I have used them quite a few times before with the Cricut Joy. They are designed to be put straight into your machine without needing that mat behind them. So very quick and easy, and it's just a really cool technology. So with your Smart materials, there's quite a variety of them. So as you can see, you've got Smart iron-on vinyl, which you can use on fabric materials such as bags or t-shirts, those sorts of projects. And then you've got your Smart permanent vinyl, which is for hard surfaces like glass or plastic, for example. There is also a Smart non-permanent vinyl, which you can use to peel off of projects, so temporary projects as well, or to use as stencils, for example. And then you've got infusible ink, and there's also adhesive backing cardstock and other types of cardstock that are all Smart materials as well. So you've got a lot of options there. So these are just a few of the options that you do have, and they are very cool. But what about the other materials that you already have? Are they able to be used with a Cricut Maker 3? Absolutely. So what you will need is to get a Cricut cutting mat. So this is the standard grip mat. This is the one that you'll probably use the most, and this would be the first one I would recommend investing in. So with the cutting mats, you can then use other types of vinyl that you already have, other cardstock, and those types of materials that are already in your collection. So don't worry, still can absolutely use them with this machine. If you're planning to use a lot of glitter cardstock or the glitter vinyls, it might be worth also investing in a strong grip mat. However, the standard grip is definitely your best starting point. So if nothing else, start with that one, and then you can always add to your collection later. There's also a light grip mat, which is great for the more fragile types of projects, like using paper and just the thinner stuff. So you have options, and they're in that Cricut size, and they just fit perfectly amongst those guides here. Let's take a closer look at the Cricut Maker 3. So to open it, you just lift this panel up and it automatically will open at the front. So as you can see here, you've got this cute little tray, and there is storage room in there for some of your tools, which I think is awesome. No more losing your scissors because it's be right there. So in here is your adaptive tool system. So it actually has slots for 2 different types of tools, which is fantastic because in the Joy you've only got room for the one tool, so you're constantly switching. So if you're doing a cut and write design, you need to switch your pen, switch your blade, and it gets a little tedious. Whereas this one, you can put your pen in and you can also put your blade in, and it'll do them both, or whatever other tools that you're using. So to put your pen in, you slot it in and then just clip the clamp into place. And again, if you're changing out your blade, you just open up the clamp, that will release, and that is your standard grip blade. And that is the one that you will use for the majority of materials. So that is the best starting point. There are the blades, of course, that you can get for other types of materials, but for now, this is a great place to start. And it just pops back into there and clips back in again. And then on the top of your machine here, you've got a few different buttons. So you've got your power button. Then this one is your feed button. So that'll feed your mat or your smart materials in and out. This is the cut button or start button. And then you've got the pause button here. So in case something goes wrong, you can quickly pause it and stop things before they get out of hand. So that is a close look. So there you got your tools, and you also have this little extra storage area here. So it is very cool, a very sleek looking machine. So aside from a cutting mat, what do you need to get started with your Cricut Maker? So I would recommend that you definitely need some transfer tape. This is a big roll, so this is 12 foot, and this is what you use to lift your design off of the backing sheet and put it onto your project. So that is definitely an essential. The other essential is the basic tool set. Sorry, upside down. So in here you've got scissors, you've got tweezers. This scraper tool is what you use to make sure that your vinyl or whatever material you're using is pressed down firmly onto your mat, and it has a good stick there. The scraper tool is fantastic for lifting your design off of the mats or off of the backing paper. And this picker tool, I don't know what this is actually called, but I do use this one a lot whenever you're doing a weeder tool. Whenever you're doing really intricate designs, you need to pick out those tiny little pieces in between, and that's what you use to weed it all out and get rid of the extra bits. So definitely a basic toolkit is a must. The other thing that is useful but not as essential is a cutting board or a guillotine type of thing. So yes, of course you can use your scissors. This just makes sure that you've got the nice straight cuts, which just makes everything a little bit neater and easier. So a great thing to have. And this one is really compact and perfect to store away as compared to the one that I have now, which is enormous.
When you're getting started with any Cricut machine is Cricut Design Space. So Cricut Design Space is a free software that you can download onto your computer, or you can download as an app from the App Store. So whether you're using an Apple device or Android device, you will find it in each of the app stores. So on the computer, this is how it looks. And what you see when you first open it up is up here, you've got collections to explore, images for you. So these ones are all free images that you can use in your projects. And then it actually gives you project ideas as well. So these are projects that other people have created, and you can click onto them. It's a nice simple one here. And it has all the instructions in there for how to create it yourself, which is very cool when you're not sure what you want to make. And they'll have all these different seasonal and trending projects in there. They also have fonts that you can use. And any that you see with this little A means that they are not free designs. These ones are part of the Cricut Access subscription. So you can either subscribe and get access to the whole library, or you can pay individually for those fonts or images instead. So that just gives you a bit of an idea, but as you can see, endless ideas in here, and there's also tutorials and lots of things to help you get started. So then we go to new project. And as you can see, I've still got just my Cricut Joy linked here. So your machine will connect via Bluetooth, or in this case, it is connected via cable. I just haven't installed it yet. So this is a blank project, this is essentially what your mat will look like. And then you can come in here and design your project. So you can use shapes. So these ones are the free ones, and then these ones are with a Cricut Access subscription. So we've got other varieties there. And again, with images, when they load, so you've got lots of free options there, and any that you've bookmarked. So if you've saved others for projects before, you can see them all here, and then adding text and other things there. You can also upload your own designs as well, or use templates. So that is the most basic look at the Cricut Design Space. So now I need to connect my machine. And you can see from here that I have chosen Cricut Maker 3, and that'll just change the options available. So there are certain things that aren't available for Cricut Joy, of course, because it has those limitations.
My very first Cricut Maker 3 project, I will be personalising these reusable plastic cups. So these are party favours for my daughter's 12th birthday. She's having a party next week, and each of the guests is going to get one of these with their name on it. Very simple. I've done quite similar for other parties before, so this is an easy project I'm pretty comfortable with, and it should be a nice starting point for using a Cricut Maker. If you are a brand new Cricut machine user in general, and you've never used anything similar before, you might want to start even easier just by doing a few test cuts on the simple materials. Don't use any of your really nice materials yet, and don't be too ambitious until you've done those basic cuts and you've gotten a bit of a feel for the machine and feel comfortable to move on to your first project. Okay, so let's go and create these.
What I need is a text box. And then just stretching that out so that it is about 4 inches. Oh, it's close enough. Okay, so that is the size I want it to be, but now I need to find a font that suits the project. So something a little bit more cursive. The good thing is you can move these boxes around, which is very cool, so they're not in your way. Well, that's quite cute. I do like that one. Now you can sort this so that you're only viewing free fonts. So if you don't have a subscription, that's a good option. You can also download your own fonts, which is amazing. I use Creative Fabrica a lot for downloading fonts into Canva that can also be used in Cricut Design Space. So creative. I actually think I might like the one that I've already chosen, which makes it very easy. Let's just see how that looks with some of the other names. And that's the other thing to be mindful of, because it's a shorter name, it comes out much bigger to get to that 4-inch size. So I might need to resize some of them to be a different size. Now, a really important thing is to see your cut lines on here. So as you can see, it has this border around the letters, and it actually cuts off those letters in certain places, which means that if you just were to cut that design exactly as it is right now, it would not cut as one piece. It would actually cut you separate pieces, which is not what we want. So that's why I've changed it to this light yellow, because it makes it really easy to see. So what we want to do is highlight it, combine, and unite. And now, as you can see, it is just one single piece, and that is exactly what I want. Do the same thing for these other ones. Go up here to make. And because I haven't used this machine before, it'll take a little bit of time to set it up. So thinking. There we go, simple as that. And add it to my Cricut ID. Machine successfully registered. And it actually prompts you to go through a test cut.
So this is why they give you this extra piece of vinyl inside your quick start guide, so you can do the test decal.
We've got the blade in clamp 3.
One in here in the guidelines, like so. And And we press our load button. And that's just measured the materials to make sure that they are large enough for the project. And now we press go. It's got cut in progress, so it's just preparing, and here it goes. So it's quite speedy. If you are using the smart materials, it will cut faster than if you are using a mat. So that is something to be mindful of. And saying that, it is still quite fast. See, that's already done. Too easy. And then we press the button and unload our design. And hopefully you can see it. It's a bit hard to see in the glare. So there it is, the Cricut symbol right. And then to confirm that it did everything it was supposed to, what we need to do is peel this away. And it's perfect. And then it straight up prompts you with your first project. So it is such an easy getting started process, and that is fabulous. So we are ready to make our first project. So now we're going to go to make. I guess I'll save it. Save it to the cloud, because I'm not going to need it after today anyway. Now I'm going to be using the white permanent vinyl in the smart materials, so I do not need a mat for this first project. And this will show you how it will appear on your vinyl. So you could adjust this. I do often like to adjust them so that I'm using less materials. I'm stingy like that. So as long as you have it within those red guidelines, then that's the main thing. So we go to continue. And that's just connecting our machine for us, which should already be connected, so that should be quite quick. And this will just have you choose the type of material you're using. So in this case, we're using Smart Vinyl Permanent, and tells you to load your tool if you haven't already. So we don't need anything in clamp A, but we do need our fine point blade in clamp B, which is already there. So now we need to load our materials. Okay, so I've got the white smart vinyl here, and so this is a huge roll. This is 13 inches by 12 foot, so you can get quite a lot of projects out of this pack. Peel this bit of tape. Now, one thing that I don't have that I'll probably invest in is a roll holder, just so it doesn't all go astray on you. All right, so now I just need to load that in at the guidelines, just like we did with our test project. And press that load button, and that'll just make sure that we've got enough materials for this project. So it's very smart, very intuitive. And now it's ready to go, so we press start. So just the fact that this roll is enormous, I've never worked with rolls this big before, I'm definitely going to want to invest in that roll holder. When I'm using the Cricut Joy, the rolls are very small and they don't get too carried away, but when you're dealing with 12 foot of vinyl, it's a whole different scenario. It's quite noisy. But very fast. Load project. And it's so hard to see with the white vinyl. I don't know if you can see anything because it is very hard to see, but here we go. Now it's time to remove that backing sheet away from the rest of the design. So this is tricky because it's white and it's really hard to see, especially because I've got a light shining over it to try and help you see. I think it's really making it harder for both of us to see. Okay. Peeling away the excess. So taking your time to make sure you don't lift up any of your actual design. So some of the lettering on these is very intricate, which is really hard when you can't see. Alright, so as you can see, I've taken away the main sections of the excess vinyl, and there's still quite a few little bits left. And that's where this weeding tool is my favorite. And this cute little cup thing. I don't know what it's actually called, but it's for putting your scraps in it. It's actually a really satisfying process sometimes. Feels a little bit therapeutic almost when you're taking out these little sections. But yeah, working with the white is definitely trickier because it's harder to see. What I'm going to do is just chop these off so that they are separate pieces. So each word on its own. There we go. So that's a close-up of one of the names all cut out. So it's all smooth and it was relatively quick, and I've just spotted an extra piece that I missed. There we go. Now I'm ready to apply the vinyl to the cup. So I just have a alcohol wipe just to wipe down that surface. And I've got my vinyl here. And now I need a piece of transfer tape. So just need to cut your transfer tape to be bigger than your actual design, and I think I cut that too short. Oh no, it'll fit, only just. So the thing with transfer tape is it is something you can reuse a few times, and I do this. Like I said, I like to be quite thrifty. And you just need to layer that over your design, making sure that it covers every part of the design. So as you can see, I did do that a little close to the edge, but it does still cover it, so that's fine. And then use your scraper tool to make sure that it is firmly adhering to transfer tape. Flip it over and do the same on the back. Jiggling the camera a bit there, sorry. No fancy studio here. It's as real as it gets. Also apply pressure to the back because you want to make sure it's stuck in there really firmly. And then lift away that transfer tape and make sure that it is sticking to the tape and not to the backing anymore. If there's any sections that are still sticking to the backing, then just rub over it again with your scraper tool. All right, go. And then we just need to line it up evenly on our design. Okay, so I'm going to put it in this direction. I think that's fairly even there. Straight. Yep, hopefully. All right, and then just once again, use your scraper tool to press it down firmly onto the surface. Making sure you get all the little sections. And very gently lift it away and make sure that it is sticking to the surface. So far, so good. Oh, this is the bit that does not like me right now. There we go. That looks so cute. I love the way that looks. So that is my very first Cricut Maker project done. A nice easy one, and one that you could definitely do in under 15 minutes really. Alright, so there we have it. That is my very first Cricut Maker 3 project done. A very simple one, but a great beginner project if you are getting started with a cutting machine for the first time. And as you can see, it's cut very smoothly and it's a very intricate font, and it's done a perfect job of it. So very happy with that. In terms of using the machine, it is simple. So far, super easy. It's not a big difference from even just the step up from the Cricut Joy in terms of using your basic materials and basic blades. So I love that it doesn't feel like a huge learning curve. Even as someone that has just put this out of the box for the very first time, never used a machine like this before, all of the prompts within the Cricut Design Space are so beginner friendly, and it'll take you through each of the steps along the way. So you don't have to feel overwhelmed and scared of what you're going to do wrong, because it will guide you. And yes, you are going to make mistakes. We all make mistakes sometimes. We might put materials in the wrong way or not remember to create our design as a single cut piece. All those little things are going to happen along the way, but that's all part of the learning process. And so from what I've done so far with the Cricut Maker 3, I love it. I'm excited to be able to make much bigger projects and explore all the different tools they have in their range. So I hope that you have found this unboxing, review, and first project helpful. And if you do have any other questions, make sure you do drop them in the comments below, and I will be sure to answer them as soon as possible. And of course, I will be creating more Cricut tutorials for you as I learn along the way. So thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day. Bye.